channel here for our next class. We'll be doing JuJitsu, and I'll be running our warm-up. So let's go ahead and get started just right off the bat. What I want you to do is just take 1 foot, step 1 foot back. Right foot is going to be stepping out behind you. And what I want you to do is bring that knee up and out, multiple times, just over and over and over. Let's stick with that same leg. We're going to stick with that same leg right off the bat. Getting that hip flexor nice and open up, nice and open up. Just keep on going, keep on going. That's it, that's it, that's it. A couple more times, couple more times. One more time, and stop. Other leg, and go. Sorry, a little bit sweaty, a little bit warm, a little bit hot from the last class. If you missed out on Mr. J's class, get a chance to do it. It's awesome. Couple more. Good. All right, now then what you do is just go ahead and step back with that leg again. This time what I want you to do is come in with it. In, like you're doing an inner crescent kick for those of you that are in the karate classes. If you're not, just think about if somebody's holding an ice cream scoop out in front of you. They got a scoop of that ice cream that you really don't like at all, and you're just going to kick it out of their hand before they can give it to you. You kick that ice cream scoop right out of their hand. There you go. Up and out, up and out. Miss Julie's laughing at me. Not supposed to be laughing at me. I'm very serious. I don't know. I like all ice creams. There you go. A couple more times.
That's what was so funny.
A couple more times. There you go.
You would never take
and
ice cream
stop.
off
Other
somebody's
leg.
hand.
And go. There you go. A couple more times. Ignore the cat. He'll probably eat my soul as soon as I sit down. And speaking of sit down, go ahead and take a seat. And what I want you to do is just going to go ahead and do a back fall from a seated position. Back fall, and go. And back up on your own. Just down and up. What you do is turn it into a crunch. Down, and then crunch back up. And down, and crunch back up. Try to get those feet up off the ground when you're coming back up. And down. And back up, feet up. And down. There you go. Keep going. Now what I want you to do is turn it into a side fall. Just like we're doing here. Now we're going to do a side fall. Side fall, up, back, other side. Back, other side. So you have 3 positions. Oh, there you go. Good. Doing great. Couple more. Last ones. And stop. Good. Great job. Go ahead and just stand back up. And now just going to be doing a run in place a little bit. Just get everything nice and loose. Nice and limber. Let your shoulders relax. Shoulders relax. Just get everything nice and loose. A little bit of neck rotation. Just while you're running. While you're running. We're just going to be running down the road today. We're not going to be running through the forest like Miss Julie made you do. Make sure both directions. Both directions. Set those arms flat. There you go. All right, good. Now feet nice and wide. What I want you to do is we're going to be turning our entire bodies over to one side and reach all the way across. And all the way across, back and forth, back and forth. And a little bit faster, a little bit faster. There you go. Just back and forth, getting those obliques warmed up. Nice and warm. That's it. Good, good. Keep it going. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. There you go. And back to running. And now knees up. Get those knees up. Nice and high. Higher than I'm going. Higher than Miss Julie does. But she goes almost to her head. Good. And heels to your butt.
That's the one I'm good at.
There you go. All the way up. Kick yourself in the butt. Metaphorically, I'm pretty good at that. Miss Julie can do it physically. She's not arguing with me. And stop. All right, go ahead and take one arm, pull that one arm across. Hopefully you got a little bit of a warm-up, so we'll get started tonight. And relax. So for the beginners, we'll be working on the Ushiro Keisagatami. And for the adults,
Or for the advanced.
or advanced rather, I'm sorry, not adults, advanced, but all right. Be working on the, what's that other one called? Yoko Shiogatami, that's it. I always forget the names. And relax and lock your fingers behind your back. And bend over to the waist. Hey, look at that. I can do that.
Nice. So we're going to review the stuff we did do in class before the the dojo closed. We'll review the drills we did at home so that you have your solo stuff
And
to work on.
relax.
But just so you're familiar with the curriculum that we worked on this month, since it is strike check, what we're going to focus on is the drills that we did to keep you strong at those techniques while you're at home, whether you're solo or not. So really, we're kind of going to do a recap of the other live classes that we've done and just hit on the things that we found to be the really most pertinent to the techniques for this month. So as Neil said, Ushiro Keisagatami and regular Keisagatami, which the drills were supporting the regular Keisagatami escape. Ushiro Keisagatami is just the reverse. And Yoko Shirogatami, we're going to demonstrate both of those just so we can have the blue mat so you guys can see them. Then we're going to do those drills that we did. And then we're going to work a little bit on that Sasei Komiyashi, the lifting, propping, pulling, throw, and the technique that we did for the entry on that. So with the blue mat out, Ushiro Keisagatami is reverse scarf hold. Normally you get to that from coming from north-south, which means I'm going to kick my leg through opposite side of the shoulder. I kind of angle that a little bit so you can show. All right, so Neil's laying head this way, feet that way. Beautiful. What I do is I kick up underneath this shoulder coming from the head side. So once I've come up underneath his shoulder, it's just like a regular Keisagatami. My knee's going to be at his ribs, and I'm going to trap his arm underneath my arm, and I'm going to be out solid like this. So in a traditional Keisagatami, everything's exactly the same. And so what we worked once we came home is that and the bridge and roll from this. The bridge and roll works the same way. So in that at-home class that we did do, the live class that we did, where we had you really work on lifting their hips and making sure they were off the ground for the bridge and roll, everything's the same concept on a Ushiro Keisagatami. Just in the tight space, you may have to use a regular Keisagatami. But to get out of this, Neil's literally going to hug me, lift my hips up off the ground, and bridge and roll me over to his other side, which I'm going to just kind of shift a little bit because we don't have enough space to go through the entertainment center. So for that technique, what we did was the medicine ball workout and the passing the medicine balls. Not yet. First, we're going to, while I still have the blue mat out, I'm going to show the Yoko Shirogatami for review. Yoko Shirogatami is oftentimes not a fight ender, but it's a really good way to reposition yourself and to keep them from being able to get back to dominance. You notice I rolled Neil up a little bit, knees underneath both his shoulder and his hip. One arm comes all the way under and grabs the collar or the shoulder of his gi. One arm comes between the legs and grabs his belt or his gi, and I'm going to really try to spin, 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 spin. Elongate him as I roll him up, which is not a comfortable position. Sometimes it can be a fight ender, but oftentimes not. The escapes from these, we're not going to focus on too much tonight, just to remind you of them. The first one is to turn this into a triangle choke. Neil will push my head down between the legs and make that a triangle choke. The way I defend about this takes up a lot more space than most of us have at home. But as soon as I know he's pushing my head down, I'm going to defend against this by bringing my leg out, and we're going to go north-south, and he's going to bridge and roll me that way. Huh? We're not going to do it.
Yeah, okay.
We haven't done it since we've been at home. Yep. All right, so blue mat up. The drill that we worked on for setting the Keisagatami. The really important thing, anytime you're in that scarf or you're sitting kind of on the ground with him next to you, if my buddy was right here, is that I'm going to kind of stay where I am, and everything's going to be twisting, and it's going to be oblique like what Mr. Neil and I did when we worked with the medicine balls. So, we're going to do our medicine ball pass. Big one, little one.
Do the lightweight one, the blue one.
All right.
Stay back.
Alrighty, so if you are working solo, you're literally just going to sit nice and solid on the ground and pass your medicine ball back and forth. Alright, with Mr. Neil here with me, we're going to pass it to each other. So if you do have a partner.
Hi, Nathan.
Nathan on?
Yeah, he said hi.
Hello, good to see you, buddy. All right, so Nathan, you can also do this with your transmission from your car if you need extra weight. What I really want you to focus on, my advanced people specifically calling out Mr. Nathan, who we miss very much, every one of you guys. If you are more advanced, as you're working on this, you can pass the other direction. What I want you to really focus on is that twist being nice and perpendicular, because you're going to really need to twist shoulders over hips so that when you're in the case gatami, you get that nice, tight twist onto their, sorry, can't talk and stretch at the same time apparently. Nice, tight twist onto their rib cage. So what we're really demonstrating when we're doing this, you're going to case gatami me, is when Neil goes to set this in really tight, instead of tilting his shoulders back, his twist stays on this perpendicular line we were just on, so that he's going to really press into my rib cage. You're going to notice immediately, there's nothing I can do about it. As he tightens this, my voice changes. So one more time. As I'm talking, I can't sustain the air. So that's the whole point of this. And you notice there was not a laying back down. Lay back. That doesn't do anything. It's literally compressing everything by twisting on that vertical line. So this passing the medicine ball or working those obliques is really, really important. So getting fully vertical as much as you can on your own. And with some weights, really going to control that a lot. All right. Bridge and rolls. The other things we worked on at home to really sustain that is the hips being able to pass through, to be able to get to that Ashura case gatami from a north-south position. If my partner was right here, I'm kicking through really super low. So we're going to work that drill a lot today. If you're high, I don't have anything holding them down. It's easier to work your pass through that way. So if you're a beginner, start with that. And then you're going to be needing to lower your weight down because you want to keep solid weight on your partner. So when we kick through, if you're more in a plank position than a high all fours position, when your leg comes through, it's sliding on the ground, very little contact. So I really want you to do that. Just get almost in a plank position and slide your leg through, pull it back. Slide your leg through, pull it back.
Is that better, Nathan?
And kick the other direction. It's hard not to travel when you have all that open floor. We need to tape it like Jay and Kristen have, which is a good note that we'll do on future videos. All right. So as I said, we're really working on staying nice and low. Back and forth. Beautiful. All right. So there is a purpose for the high kick throughs. So when we're doing those, they're going to work on other moves, so that tiger walk or crab walk to bear walk that we worked on is very, very, very important. But today for our strike check, working on positions, not something I really focus on too terribly much. Excuse me. So that's a lot for our Ashura case gatami and our case gatami. We settle now.
Yeah, getting there.
We're getting camera adjusted apparently. So next we're going to work the Sasei Komiyashi. So we're going to bring the blue mat back out. Fortunately for this.
Hey, Domenico.
Nice. Hey, good to see you, Domenico. You want to swim me?
You can come in.
Okay. All right.
You got an angle or?
No, he's going to toss me down that way. All right, this is our dancing one. We are going to start in position. I'm going to walk Neil away from me, then towards you guys, and throw him towards you guys, all right? So we're going to start a little bit farther here just so I can walk a little bit. Walk a little bit away. Take a step. Take him right to the ground, all right? So the drill that we worked on that from the home is really all about the turn. When I take my step and move, and again, I really don't actually move. I move him, And even when we're talking about it, if you do it right, it's going to turn into a fall. So that was the drill where it really worked. If you do have a partner, you can totally do that. Just staying in place, right foot's planted. I pick up and I turn, and I kind of just bring Neil's leg along with it. So we are going to make that physical turn. We did the belt across the back of the chair drill for you guys to do that entry and really work on your squat down. It works on the Sasei Kobayashi also. So if you've got your right leg planted, the drill I want to see is literally turning and squatting. Not quite such a deep squat, but the chair can help for your balance if you're doing that. So if I'm working on the space in the chair and I turn, my squat doesn't need to be as deep. I'm not as worried about my belt going below my waist, but I am worried about kind of going to an X stance. For those of you in karate, I'm going to do the only one foot on the ground. So face the chair, pick up left foot, turn. Bend everything nice and tight, come right back out. Again, and again. And just in case we have some overachievers watching, we're going to do it on the other side. In traditional jiu-jitsu stance, you often don't do things both sides as much, but it's really good technique to be able to surprise somebody with. One of our students, Brian, loves to change up and do this on the other side. This is not my favorite knee, so that's okay. You're going to have one that you're better at, and you're going to have one that you're not so good at. All right? So work that through a couple of times. Finally, I have my best boy over there doing everything. The final thing that I want to bring in tonight that's kind of along what we've already worked is to bring the elbows in. And again, partner work really works for this. Weighted balls, like our medicine balls, can work for this. But the big thing on Sasai Kobayashi is that elbow in grip. So if we're in grip and I'm pulling Mr. Neil in, as I bring everything, if I pull down, I'm not doing the lifting part of the lifting, propping, pulling of the threat. So for any of you guys who are new, or any of my karate people who are watching, and I'm so happy karate people have been watching these videos. Thank you guys for watching. I've got to kind of pull up, but my elbows are still got to stay nice and tight, so I'm controlling the center of this. So I want you to take a medicine ball and almost think of like you are bringing it right to your face as your elbows come in, so that it's more an upward hand motion, and see how everything kind of swims along. If you're in Masters right now and you've been working on Waza #1 with the sword, it's that same motion. My elbows are coming in and up a little bit. Bring everything nice and tight and bring it up. And again, and up. So if I have Mr. Neil here, he's going to run up on the camera again. I apologize. But the way this motion works, right hand's at his lapel, left hand's at his elbow. The lifting, propping, pulling, let's get really far back. I really want them to see the feet. I'm bringing him onto his toes. That's what made him trip even when we were stationary, because he didn't have his weight solid on his heels. If I pull him down, lift your foot, lift your foot. All day long he's not falling because he's on his heel of his other foot. So once I had him on his toes and then the foot's there, then it becomes really a simple matter to make him find the floor. So everything comes in and up. So my motion is this, and you notice, all of you guys who know, we have swimming coming. Our favorite thing is to control the center. My elbow's nice and tight right at the center. So bring everything up and in. So with your weighted balls, that same exact thing. All right, that's my review.
Nice.
What do you have to add?
Guys, so just make sure that you're working on those pieces. If you've got any questions about it or anything, either send us a Facebook message, or if you want to chime in on this via this form, or even send us an email. It doesn't really matter. We'll answer any questions that you've got. If you've got any questions about any other material, we're going to be working that as well. We do change it up every single time. Like you just heard Miss Julie talking about, we do have the back attack is actually going to be coming up. Be working the wrist lock flow and some other pieces as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Julie to wrap it up, and y'all have fun.
We do have a few minutes left on the time for the 30-minute class, so I will run through the back attack flow real quick. We have not done that in this class. We did do it in a couple of classes before we we left the dojo. So for anybody who this is totally new for, we'd love you to watch and get an idea of what's going on with it. For everybody who needs this for review, it's part of the Stripe Check. So it's
Yes, it is hard to do on tall people, Rochelle. You're absolutely right.
It really is. Let me show you a real quick trick. That's a perfect thing for us to talk about. A real quick trick that you can do on a choke. For everybody who's not done this so much, this is a seated choke. This is once you're actually on the jiu-jitsu floor. It's a little bit less easy to make this trick happen when they're seated, although I just basically climb them. But if they're standing, it's really easy to make them a little bit shorter. So if Mr. Neal turns vertical to the camera, you're going to take right into the center. So right in the spinal portion, I'm going to push and pull, and that bends him. So if he's standing up, so for a standing choke, this is really, really, really handy. And for everybody who does karate and does like fighting 9, this is where you do hit to bend them a little bit. Again, maybe 2 inches higher than the belt. I push the knuckle right there as I pull down, and then I just make Neal the height I want him to be. So they could be Neal's height, they could be Nathan's height, they could be Lee's height, and they just all become Julie's height. So it's really, really, really handy. All right, we're going to sit this way for me to demonstrate. Actually, we're going to sit this way for me to demonstrate the choke so that we can use Neal's good shoulder. All right, so the back attack flow. The very first thing I'm going to do once I get in position is I'm going to take both my hands from underneath the shoulder and open up the collar. Not only does this give me things to grab, as you notice what it did to Neal's shoulders, it pulled them down away from his neck, so he's not quite as viable to reach over and grab a hold of things and poke me in the eye or anything like that. I bring the hand farthest. Most of the time it's the right hand, but in this case, as I said, we're going to use Neal's good shoulder. This is my left hand, is going to reach across and grab the lapel. My right hand comes over the top of the shoulder, and I do a traditional seatbelt choke. So we're going to turn at an angle so you can see it. Grab the lapel nice and deep, pull across and down, down and across. And he'll tap when I have it. All right? So, next thing. One of the simple defenses is he's going to use that hand. I did the wrong hands. Sorry.
It's okay.
Crisscross hands for you. I'm over here worried about this shoulder so much I did it backwards. He's going to use the hand that has one underneath it so he can reach up. He's going to try to grab a hold of my head, try to pull me over his shoulder, try to do something with that. And so immediately I let go of the hand that says the lapel, come up across, and I'm going to slide all the way to the other side of his head to set that choke even tighter. All right? So that's step number 2. Nice. Number 3, I come up over on this side. What I want to do with this is separate his shoulder and his head. So I'm just going to push the arm across and keep him tilted that way. Then I bring the arm all the way to this side and push the choke tighter. Then I bring a leg across, push the choke tighter, and then I grab the arm and I tap. Get him in a JuJitsu to make that arm bar happen. So the arm bar, pretend we all did it all on the same side. I'm going to do it on this side. Once I come across with the leg, basically what happens if he comes and protects himself, I'm going to get a hold of the arm, bring it down nice and straight, and right over my hip. All right? Now, this one's going to be hard to demonstrate. I will do it for you, Nathan, because I know this is what you're working on. This is another thing where a really low hip switch is really, 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 really important. The very last move, before I even get to choke, move number 7 is actually kind of, if you even didn't start the choke flow, he knows it's coming. Neal automatically scoots his hips out, and he's going to try to crush me to the floor. So to not let that happen, I've got to get my hips out really, really, really quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push one foot up, and I'm going to bring the other knee straight underneath into my hip escape that we've been working. So without Neal here, what I'm going to do is holding on to him, I'm going to lift my hips, and I'm going to slide my hips through and lay down. is, we're going to have to do this like on the 45. Is I get to slide my hips out, slide yours a little bit. Give me some space corner. I come right down over the top, sink us both down to the ground, and choke him by crushing his cervical spine. So, when you guys are working on that hip escape, if you're working out with the concept of the flow, what you're going to have, I'll try to build this up a little bit, is some weight in front of you that you got to work around. So I've got to escape my hips right here nice and low. So I'm going to pull through, slide out, lift and slide. All right? And that is the back attack flow. We will work this more in coming classes. We are going to do a lot of some stand-up things in the next few classes. We've done a lot of groundwork this month. Just so you guys know, we do already have a solid class just on the wrist lock flow plan for next week. So we get a lot of demands for that. And we already have some other plans to work some other techniques that you can do in the smaller room. I know the back attack flow is A, hard on a big person, B, hard to do without a person. But these are all really, really great things to know and have a concept of. And they do translate back and forth between your jiu-jitsu and your karate and your wonderful self-defense techniques. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. Was a wonderful stripe check. Please post your name in the comments so that we know to count you as attended, especially for the jiu-jitsu students who are earning the stripe. And we'll give you guys credit for that class. Again, thank you. Good night. I hope to see you very soon.
And work on your falls.